and welcome to our viewers on ASI News Broadcast, bringing you the latest top news for today. House GOP freshman leader eager to tackle debt immigration. Incoming House Republican freshman class president Ken Buck says he's willing to work with Democrats to avoid gridlock, saying that, quote, compromise is part of the legislative process, end quote. But the Coloradoan added he won't compromise on fiscal issues, which he said have, quote, just dragged this country down, end quote. Buck said he would consider raising the debt limit, which the U.S. could bump against in the coming months, as long as, quote, we make substantial progress on balancing the budget, end quote. If we do that, I will take a serious look at voting to increase the debt limit, he said. But he added that the Obama administration and others have over-exaggerated the dire economic consequences of failing to raise the debt ceiling. To keep government spending and the debt limit in check, Buck said the so-called Boehner rule, which calls for any increase in the debt limit to be accompanied by equal or larger reductions in spending, is the, quote, minimum threshold that we have to meet, end quote. On immigration, Buck said he hopes the new GOP-controlled Congress will push through legislation to re-sign President Obama's recent executive action to allow almost 5 million illegal immigrants a chance to stay legally in the U.S. But he said such a move would only be the first step to fixing the nation's immigration system, saying a comprehensive policy that includes a guest worker program and enhanced border security is essential. Buck said that to have a workable immigration system, immigration laws already on the books must be enforced. We have to make sure that the people coming into this country understand that we do respect the law and we're going to enforce the law, he said. Once we do that, then I think the issue of what we do with the folks that are here illegally is really much less emotional, and we can have a rational discussion on that subject. Second House Republican comes out against Boehner for Speaker. The second House Republican announced Saturday that he plans to oppose House Speaker John Boehner for re-election next week. Explaining his decision, Representative Thomas Massie, Republican from Kentucky, criticized House Republican leaders for not giving lawmakers ample time to read bills and accused leadership of having undermined conservative members of the conference by removing them from committees or by bringing controversial bills to a vote without notice. Massie also cited the recent spending deal reached by congressional lawmakers, the timing of which Massie said was scheduled to, quote, get maximum leverage over rank and file members, end quote. For years I watched Washington from afar and suspected that something was broken, Massie said in a press release. During my first 2 years as a congressman, I discovered a significant source of the dysfunction. I watched the House leadership. Massie did not specify whom he will support instead of Boehner, but Massie said he will, quote, will vote for a new speaker who will consistently articulate a constitutional vision for America and facilitate an inclusive and orderly legislative process that allows Congress to truly reflect the will of the people. Massie is the second House Republican thus far to announce he will not support Boehner for Speaker. Representative Jim Bridenstine, Republican from Oklahoma, also announced his opposition to Boehner's re-election this week. Still, Boehner is expected to win re-election with relative ease, having shored up support from even some of the most testy conservatives within his conference. Those conservatives who do not support Boehner have not coalesced around an alternative, and this year, Boehner's margin for error is larger than during the previous Congress. He can lose 28 votes and still win re-election. Boehner faced a crisis last week when news broke that House Majority Whip Steve Scalise might have addressed a crowd of white supremacists in 2002, but Boehner moved quickly to voice his support for Scalise, preventing serious backlash among conservatives within the House GOP conference that might have jeopardized his re-election. Those were the latest news brought to you from the American Studies Institute from Tehran. You can also check our website at www.asipress.us. Thanks for watching.